Peace and great health. This Count Noble L. Dallas L. Bailey Bay, represent the Moorish Society Foreign Ministry of America. This is the Moorvue podcast. I always talk shit about people putting all the information in the business out in the streets. You know, some things should be discreet. Today is Saturn's Day, November 27th, 2021. It's going to be a different kind of podcast today because it's not going to be long. It's not going to be long. I just want to I guess give a little more background about myself, Count Noble L. Dallas L. or L. Bailey Bay. I am a consul. I am a foreign minister. I am a presiding officer. Of the Moorish Society Foreign Ministry of America. There are MSTAs out there for Moors that do know, for people that are aware, for those that group that do know. The MSTA is what our Prophet Noble Drew Ali began in the early 1900s, the 19-teens. It has different names before it became to the MSTA. The Prophet Noble Drew Ali was born January 8th, 1886 in North Carolina, or Tuscarora, North Carolina Republic, the land Tuscarora. This is a dedication video. I got a lot of stuff, I started doing this podcast in July of 2021, and then I apologize to all the subscribers, anyone that's ever listened when I first started, and I have 25 subscribers, but to me that was immense. It could have been 25 million because before there was zero. So I dedicate all of my energy to the ones and to anyone that listens. What is my goal in the Moorvue podcast? I've been wanting to teach a lot of things that I have, more than research, more than experienced in life, to share, to help anyone that I could. If it was just one person, I would. I have done a lot of different career patterns, different entrepreneur things, many different, I do music, I write, I'm a poet, I'm a music producer, I'm a photographer, I'm an editor. Whether editor could be in digital or audio or documentation, excuse me. I come with a lot, but that's not what's important. I'm 46 years old. I just turned 46 November 3rd. And as a man, you always have to take an assessment of self. You must be highly, highly, highly self-aware of your environment, of your health, of the people around you, of whatever goals and expectations that you have put upon yourself. Are you close? What is the next step to get closer to achieving whatever said goal? I'm a father. I've since I became a father 21 years ago at the age of 24. Firstborn born in 2000, my daughter. I have, ever since that first day, I've tried to be a better father. I've tried to be a better man. I've tried to be more aware, more knowledgeable, more inclined, more resourceful, more everything to be what I needed to be to take care of all of my responsibilities, to be accountable. And when you look in the mirror, you have to say to yourself, are you? You have to learn to forgive certain things about yourself, certain things that you led yourself astray upon, the mistakes that you have made, the choices that you've made, the decisions that you made, and the outcomes and the results and the consequences. I learned at a young age that a man was someone that could make whatever decision, make whatever choice, and could live with the repercussions and the consequences of their actions. No matter, it doesn't matter if it's a great, it's a good, it's a terrible, it's a bad, that doesn't matter. Can you live with it? Can you endure what you have done, or will you run? My father died a year ago. I moved in to, I grew up in the house, but moved back to take care of him. He took care of his mother. My grandmother, this was her house. And when she couldn't take care of herself, he made sure. And as a family, my mother and myself also contributed to the welfare and being of my grandmother. And when he got to the point where, he needed assistance, I thought he was owed the same thing that he gave. I feel like, and I don't know if I thought about it, I probably did, but I don't know. And I don't know if I thought about it before, but what I've learned is what you do in your 20s, in your 30s, in your 40s, 50s, how you treat people, the people you have around you, the decisions that you make. Can you live with the repercussions and the consequences of your actions? Because it could be really bad and it can be really great. But what happens when you as a man or a woman can no longer take care of yourself? Who can you really expect to come and give you a helping hand and make sure you're good? Not do you dirty because you're vulnerable, but to make sure you're great, that you're good, that you are phenomenal, that you reciprocate what was given. And in your life, you're supposed to give, not just take, to the people that are around you. And a lot of times we choose wisely. Sometimes we choose very wrong. And we got to live with that. As a man, I'm not anywhere where I want to be. My spirit feels like I'm very close. You know, you have instinctual things about yourself. Your intuition. It's kind of like a guide. It's kind of like a co-pilot, really. Your instinctual things that tell you to do those. Get up, take out the trash, go. You need to go ahead and vacuum right now. You need to go ahead and wash them clothes. You need to go ahead and get that oil change. These little things, they just pop up in your head. They make you get up off your ass and stop procrastinating. And we would then choose to procrastinate or to go ahead and do a thing that will help you out later on, because it's one less thing, getting it out of the way. You can get to the next thing. The instinct tells you, well, then you can do this since you went on ahead and cleaned that room up. That idea you was thinking about, you got space to do it. A lot of times when your instincts give you the ability to clean up your clutter in your life so you can get to where you're supposed to be. And that's where we are always are. We're not ever in a good state. We're always in a what's next, because we need a next thing to live for. I want to achieve the things that I dreamed when I was 4 and 5 years old. I know they are achievable. I've seen and glimpsed it. I've lived it maybe for a day or a moment or hour or a second, but I know it's possible. To have the knowledge of self that I needed more than anything else, something that no man and no woman could ever give me. When you gain knowledge of self, you have to get it for yourself. When you understand that knowledge is not ever limited, meaning you can't learn it all. You can't know it all. There's always something else and something more that you do not know that you can learn, that you can also add to your arsenal of knowledge and your display of wisdom. I'm here to dedicate everything I can to everything that I put forth out in the universe. And this starts deeply with this podcast. As actually, you can say, well, I have my own ministry, but the ministry isn't necessarily for me. The only reason I didn't join a temple of other Moors or other Moorish temples, because of my own personal research that I did on each temple that I wanted to join, and how I was set up, and how the prophet told us how it should be. My understanding and interpretation of things kind of gives me a little gateway to the future. I'm not saying I'm psychic or anything like that. It's just the things that I know, I know them for a particular reason, because I'm always seeking knowledge. I don't ever not seek to know more than what I know or what I knew yesterday. I need to know more today, because I'm still here and I'm still breathing. And it's not in my spirit to just kick back, kick it, just enjoy life, party, or whatever like that. But I've never been that type of person. I'm always aware of everything around me, and I've become more and more and more aware, being a father, being a parent, someone that has to be a leader, to look futuristically at what can possibly happen and what are the answers to that dilemma or obstacle, so we can get through. It's a lot all the time, but I was made to do it. That I know. I've always done it. I'm not a rich man at all. By no means. I'm wealthy as fuck with knowledge. But financially, But at the same time, like, do I want for anything? Like, what the things I do want, I'm going after with everything I got, because I gotta have it. I gotta achieve this dream. To be a man, what it is to be a man, to take care of yourself, to take care of our responsibilities, be accountable, but also to help, also to build, also to invent, to make sure, to look out for one another, to create as gods. We are made in the flesh. We are made in the flesh. Your Bible said, any other text, biblical religious text, tells you who you are. You have another person that will translate and interpret that thing to you of who you are not. I am not one of those foreign ministers that would do that. I'm not one of those ministers. I'm not ever going to tell you that you're not a God. You're not an ill, because you are. How do you know you are not? Every decision that we make as humans here on the earth land, we live it. If someone decides to murder, if someone decides to save a life, if someone decides to create a life, if someone decides to bomb a country, whoever is in that collective is deciding the world that we live in today. And the ones that don't give a damn about any of that is letting it pass by. It's letting it happen. We are responsible for each other. We're responsible for everything. I understand we want to separate in our minds that I'm only looking out for myself. But say I have children I don't even direct in a positive manner. They learn a negative thing to go out and affect you and yours. Then I affected the whole world. I neglected to make this world a better place, and that is each and every person. Growing up, you're given ideologies, right? From your parents or from your environment, from your family, from your neighborhood, from your school system, you know, for people that don't have no parents, for to go come up in, orphanages or foster homes, going through the things, the group homes, the things they did or did not have in this world, and what they seek now because of it. You got people that was born up to about 18 years old, never had nothing, no love, and want nothing but a family. You got people that was born, 18, had nothing but a family, had nothing but love, and don't want nothing. So it's crazy. When you take it all in, we have to take it all in. I know we want to get to the next great thing, but I mean, I don't know about the world you're living in right now, but going through the last 2 years of this pandemic, job losses, life losses, economic strife, inflation up the wazoo, things have changed. The mask wearing, the Jabberwocky got to get the jab. Just to walk in a building that a year ago was fine for you to walk into. Have a job that it was perfectly fine for you to work that job, however number of years that you had it, but now all of a sudden, things have changed. I really wonder what life is going to look like in 10 years. I wonder what I'm going to look like in 10 years. I wonder where I'm going to be in 10 years, because I wonder where I'm going to be tomorrow, because things have changed. But I still got this goal of being this man. If you had a goal about being a certain type of person, getting whatever kind of acclaim, gaining whatever type of assets in your life, but in a world where if you don't have just the right amount of intelligence to make right decisions, it could probably take you and your family out of here one way or another. right now, because right now they're showing you nothing but life and death. And it was always that way before, but this time it's with that added caveat of what you can and can't do, where you can and can't go. So then you have to go back into that mirror and reassess, like, I know I want to be this man or this woman. I have these goals and aspirations, I always have. But what does that look like in this world right now? And how can I get there? Because it might not be the same way you thought you was going to get there before. So through this podcast, I'm going to use it as therapy, as therapeutic. Let's do music. It was my therapy. Like certain things I just had to get out that I couldn't get out no other time. Some things you want to say, like, I don't nobody want to hear that shit. So you just gotta sometimes just say it to yourself. Say it loudly to yourself. Some of us have people in our lives we can talk to. Some of us have no one, you know. And me personally, like, I mean, having that sounding board the way you would want to, like, my man left. My daddy-o, he had to go home. Like with that last voice. I feel like I probably could just say anything to him. And he probably would understand. But when you lose that, you got to just get stronger and focus. So I'm going to focus. I'm going to give this all I got. I want to make it one of the coolest, the most in-depth, the most knowledgeable, the most intellectual, the most fun. 306 degrees. We're going to master the whole circle. We're going to cover it all. Because I have an interest in it all. And what I learned from Moorish science is definitely from all of this has poured out of all things through science. And a Moorish science is a perspective of knowing where all things came from and where all things originated. That's probably the best definition of Moorish science. A knowledge where all things came from and where all things originated. And that's what I want to bring. As my grandmother said, it's been a long road to hoe. When I was young, I did not know what that meant. I definitely know it now, because as long as you have breath in your lungs and your heart is still beating and your brain is functioning at full capacity, it can run at a higher capacity. Your blood can flow at a better flow, and you can breathe cleaner and healthier every day by the choices and the decision that you make on this long road to hope. So, let's get it. I'll be back.